the fortune waiting to be won. I want it all. I want it all.
Welcome to Laverne, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandes, and
I'm Chris Jayawardena. Hello. I think. Wait a second. There's something different today.
there's so much glitter and glamour in the air, and thin, poorly produced plots. It must be a BLANSKY'S Beauties special.
Oh no! Oh God! Oh, make for the door! Run for the door! I got the key. Oh crap! I don't have the key. Oh no! We're gonna have to review this. Oh dear.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, after all this time making fun of BLANSKY'S Beauties in many different ways, because we have heard so much bad about it, we finally have gotten our hands on some episodes of the show, and we've been able to take in one. This was at the request of our wonderful Twitter followers. We had a poll when we hit, I think it was 100 followers, right?
Yes. This is when we hit 100 followers on our Twitter.
Exactly, yes. And so we had a poll as to what we should cover as a special kind of celebratory episode. We're a little late with that. It's now been about 2 months, I think, since we ran the poll, and we're actually like up to about, oh gosh, I think we're a little higher on the count now.
We're in the 130s.
Yeah. We'll probably be getting close enough that we'll probably have to do another poll soon. Anyway, so we're going to cover this this episode. So which one are we covering today?
This is Nancy Remembers Laverne. It's obviously features a Laverne DeFazio cameo in it. It was directed by Jerry Paris, the sitcom legend that he was, and it was written by Roger Garrett. We'll have some facts about them later in the episode. And here's what the episode's about. Choreographer Nancy Blansky decides to give her assistant and live-in nephew, Joey DeLuca, advice when he feels that he's being left out of the social scene that surrounds their small apartment. In the contest between dedication and joy, Joey feels guilty for feeling undermotivated. So Nancy tells him a story about how, after flying into Milwaukee for a benefit show in 1957, she made the acquaintance of Laverne DeFazio and her father Frank, who's emceeing the benefits. Ambitious Laverne is pressed into service as Nancy's secretary, and eventually is forced to partner with Nancy during the benefits. Impressed with Laverne's skill level, Nancy offers her a job in Vegas, leaving Laverne to choose between her show business dreams and her simple desire to become a wife and mother. What do you think of this one, huh? Total silence.
Okay. There is a lot to unpack about this. You and I have talked about this a lot because
Yes.
it took us a few weeks. It's actually been a while since we even watched the episode, and I had to watch it a second time to do notes. And on that second viewing, I went from it wasn't that great to absolute frothing rage. I mean, it made me violent. We will get to the end of this episode, and I'll read off the. I'll read off what I actually had to cleanse it on my system. And admittedly, there was some other stuff going on that day when I did those notes, but still, just okay. So,
yes,
the intro song is 70s as hell, to the point that it's painfully. This makes Great Clark and Al Adamson movies look cool and hip by comparison.
Shine Your Love is a great song.
Yeah.
Give it for Shine Your Love.
Exactly. No, I'm talking Wonder Women. I'm talking. This made Wonder Women look cool. This made Black Samurai look cool. This made Carnival Magic look good.
Oh, Carnival Magic! Wow, that's a deep cut. Whoa.
That's a deep cut. But yeah, I have a little frowny emoji when it gets to Cochise Littlefeather.
Coaches, they actually thought that was an appropriate name for a character in the late 70s.
Oh God.
Just wow. Every time I think about that character name. The theme song to BLANSKY'S Beauties was performed by Cindy Greco, who performs the Laverne and Shirley theme song. It's called I Want It All. It's not very good.
It's not very good, and you know what? She doesn't get to have it all. She doesn't. She get. You know what you get? You get nothing. You get nothing. That's what you get for this.
You lose. Good day, sir.
God. That is actually my first note after the music. It takes place in Vegas, has Cindy Greco music, and the makeup is hideous. That is my first note.
Dear.
And then
Dear.
after that is boo Scott and yay Arnold/Pat.
Yeah. Arnold is a great addition to the show. I will give it that much. He's probably one of the better parts of the show, and his relationship with Nancy is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that.
Yeah, because to be honest, like where's my note here? I have a headcanon about this, that I feel like it would be great if the truth was that actually Arnold and Nancy have had this like on again, off again relationship, like for decades. And like, there's actually even a possibility that one of the beauties is actually their illegitimate child.
Oh, that'd actually be fun.
That would be excellent. And like have this really like emotional ending, but also it's like, you see, you're talented and smart like your mom, and you're really fun and funny and sweet like me, your dad, you know. Yeah. And there's so many things, there's so many options that suddenly open up. Yeah. That whole, oh god, that opening scene. Oh my god. We're gonna have to talk about Scott. Okay.
Yes.
Scott Baio for TS warning here. We have to talk about Scott Baio, whatever. You know what? I don't care. I don't care if I'm saying his name wrong, because I'm not meaning to insult a culture. I mean to insult a person, and he's not a really good person.
Okay.
Not by my standards anyway. Not by my standards.
Yes, go.
God damn it, Scott! How are you already like a rapist pig at this age?
Like, the problem with this character is multifold. There's nothing really cute about it. Like a 13, 14-year-old boy who's constantly trying to mac on the showgirls that live around him.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cute. And they really thought it was cute that this kid is horny and all he wants to do is look at these half-naked girls. And it's like icky. It's icky.
Oh god! And the thing is, this was like a trope of this era.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why. Oh god, this is why we have the men on the internet that we do, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly.
It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons.
Possibly.
I do love that she infantilizes him immediately. Like, get away from me, kid! You bother me.
Yeah. It's good old Sunshine Aquilino. I don't know why Linda Goodfriend's delivery is so kind of slushy and slow. But it is. It's kind of...
Dude, how many whiskey sours do you think it takes to get through shooting one of these fucking things?
12 at least. Anyway.
Future me can bleep that if necessary.
Yes. Do that, future Chris. I will say Sunshine's relationship with the bellboy is kind of cute.
Yeah, Ditsy Marvin. It's really cute.
Yes, it's really sweet.
Do you recognize who that is, though, right?
Kind of vaguely, yeah, but you go ahead and tell our audience.
That is Fred Fox as Marvin the Bellhop.
Yay! Fred Fox once again.
Yes, Fred Fox Jr. He's really trying hard to hide his bald spot underneath that cap. Yeah. I feel so sorry for that man, because when you see photos of him from the Happy Days writing of the Happy Days writing stuff a few years after this, I mean, the hair's going. It's pretty gone.
Yeah, he's given up. It's given up. The follicles have given up the fight.
Yeah, it's the last days. But he's super cute. And it's a bummer. This is his second appearance in the show, and the last time they would see Marvin as his character, and it's like, you actually have a decent character here and kind of a cute little relationship. You probably could have played with this, Yeah.
There's like maybe 2 or 3 good spots in Blansky's Beauties. One of them is the Nancy and Arnold relationship. One of them is the Sunshine Bellboy relationship. And maybe the other good part of it is Eddie Mecca and his character, Joey, who is nothing like Carmine, thankfully.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. He also wears a lot less clothes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They just gave up, and they're like, look at the chesticles. Look at the man meat, folks. Look at the man meat.
You just want just that hunk of slab of man right there. You just want to get your face, get your hands in it. You want to get your eyeballs all over every single one of those pores. Those little man nipples just hanging out down there. Those abs just heading down to his happy trail. Do not know where the super eroticized, smutty cowboy thing came from, but I'm glad I went with it.
Show us the man nipples! Man nipples!
So,
That's
yeah,
the flex one.
the nipples. Nipples.
Yep. Well, there's one man nipple.
The poor guy gets only a few syllables per line, and one of the dumbest setups to a flashback ever. This whole, oh man, this script, yikes!
It's weird.
I just get a little down when I see everybody running around having a good time while I'm stuck rehearsing all the time. Like, is he supposed to be 17, 15? How old is Joey?
He's supposed to be somewhere in his 20s. I think he's supposed to be somewhere in his 20s.
Because I know Eddie, because Eddie was around like 24, 25 when he shot this. And I mean, my note in all caps is this actually dialogue? Why are people laughing at this? Were they this desperate for entertainment?
Well, Gary was kind of this desperate to get something like this out there. He tried to make 2 different showgirl sitcoms. First is Blansky's, which flopped, and then he tried to go back to the subject matter again with Who's Minding the Kids?
Oh, God.
Which ended up on NBC, and that flopped, too.
Okay. Future me, can you put, for the YouTube version of this, can you put up that little Ryan Reynolds bit from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle? But why?
Why? I don't know. It might have been his attempt at trying to answer Jiggle TV, is my only guess.
Yeah.
So we get non-genuine stock footage of non-genuine Milwaukee here.
Mm-hmm. Stuff with old cars. Will wonders never cease.
Buildings. And the audience is so thirsty for somebody that looks like a celebrity that they actually give a standing ovation to Frank here.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. What's kind of a bummer is I want to know how she's connected to Frank. Like, I mean, how connected is this man, especially with his toot and his attitude? I mean, did the mozzarella kingpin get in on this action at this event here? He's running. I mean, he's running the show, the benefit, which is cool and super in character for Frank. Super great. Yes. I love that detail. But although him smoking a cigar was a little weird. I know it's on brand for the period, but that's probably I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah, we don't see him doing it in Laverne and Shirley, so it's a weird character detail.
Yeah, exactly. Is Blansky a cryptid? Is she immortal?
Well, according to the timeline that we see in the show, yeah, it almost feels like she's immortal. The way they write it, it's like, yeah.
That's what it is. Her and Arnold are vampires. This is secretly the alternate history, the alternate universe version of Only Lovers Left Alive.
The only lovers left in Las Vegas.
Shout out to all my Jim Jarmusch pals out there. Solid.
Awesome. I was going to say, so enter Penny, to a huge amount of applause from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Huge amount of applause. They ripped the roof off of that place.
Oh, yeah.
Laverne is supposed to be pre-canon here. Just pre-canon. Do you think she pulls that off very well?
Yes and no. Partly because even by the time they shot this episode, there was enough of Laverne's past established that she feels a bit too insecure. And she also, it's meant to be pre-canon Laverne, but 57's actually a bit late because it's implied that her and Shirley move into the apartment pretty much right out of high school. So this is like literally, like the only way this works is the Laverne and Shirley move in episode is like 2 months from this point, maybe a month.
Yeah.
So
like, even the dreams she expresses are kind of the dreams Laverne has in the show, but it's not even really, doesn't really even line up with what we learn of her, especially even before this.
Oh yeah.
I think we're around season 3. With the concurrent to Laverne and Shirley, unless I'm completely nuts.
Season 2, I believe. Let me just double check. Yeah, pretty sure. Let me just double check this, because I'm gonna. Future me can trim this down if necessary, but keep going ahead. I'll come back to this in a second.
I was going to say that by this time, though I guess it's not true. By the time we get to like season 4. We learn Laverne does have that hunger to dance, to do entertainment stuff, to do things that aren't, just be a mom and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And it's expressed in things like chorus line, all that. So the idea of that being her motive that keeps her from Las Vegas doesn't really make a lot of sense. The idea of Frank not approving of it would be a better moral.
Right.
So.
This was based on the timing. They were starting probably to get filming on season 3, but yeah, season 2 was still the most recent one because this episode aired April 9th, 1977. Season 3, episode 1 is 20th of September, 77.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes some kind of sense.
It's kind of in between.
Yeah.
But both are answers, that is.
Yeah. Okay, so we're both kind of right in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah. I love some of the dialogue here. Like, I was in a show that lasted 2 years, and I was in a show that lasted one night. You should have stuck with first show.
Oh God. Yeah, there's all these little dialogue bits that are there's Laverne becomes the big butt of the joke, and it's cute, but it's kind of sad. Like, there's a toilet here. Yeah, it's a suite. And it's like, look how poor she is. Isn't it funny? She's awkward and boundary breaking. Isn't it funny? She's like the super happy Labrador, which should be adorable, but it's just this. It's a flow deficient mess. I mean, to be honest, like, Jerry can do better than this as a director.
I know. We've seen him do better than this as a director across multiple other series.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this guy did Bachelor Party, for crying out loud.
Yeah, exactly. I love that Shirley was excited to meet Senior Wences. It's just Shirley detail. But yeah, the blocking isn't that great. The sense of character is like kind of off-ish. But Nancy Walker and Penny do have a great little tap number, a little dance number.
Yep.
Which is super cute and charming. That is a highlight. We gotta give them credit for that.
Absolutely.
Credit for one thing, and that'll be that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so an L on it?
No, I mean, definitely. Oh yeah. They put an L on it. All those, those little parts are really cute. That's super cute. And Schultz, or Counselor Seymour Gaffney, we'll get to him in a second. As a little, his whole bit, the stand-up bit, the sound effects, him with Phil Foster, they're clearly having too much fun, and I love that. I get sucked in. And even though he probably, it's a bit out of canon for him to call her that soon. Frank calling Laverne his little muffin, it's a bit early, but it's super cute. He's still proud of her. I like that a lot.
Yes, that's really sweet.
But yeah, and I think it was kind of interesting how they compressed the events, of like, instead of offering her the job elsewhere, she, as the end of the performance, hey, how do you want to go to Vegas?
Yeah.
It's a good time. And then
yeah.
This episode feels like a weird dream to me.
Yeah, it's like an alternate universe of her.
Yeah, it's
in a lot of ways.
It's weird that Laverne would choose the Milwaukee life instead of the fun wild ride to Vegas. Because she'd always be able to come home. That's the whole point of having the roots that she comes from.
Yeah. The idea that she has to hang around the brewery where there are cute guys, like there aren't cute guys in Vegas, and that she wants to stay there and marry a guy and have some kids, and the kids move out, and then she has a family life. You can have that like anywhere. Then she eventually moves to California, so that kind of blows her whole thing apart. So like,
oh yeah, totally.
It's bad reasoning. It could have been so much stronger. It could have been so much stronger, more interesting.
I feel like this is a lesson of a lot of these types of episodes that when they show up on TV shows. It's like you basically tell the audience, the kids, being a parent and a family person is really important, and do your duty for the country. Because the dreaming big doesn't turn out. You want the audience to imagine themselves getting these possibilities instead of being unhappy that their lives aren't as glamorous. Like, that's kind of what it comes off as. This is conditional social programming. See, this is what happens when I do this instead of doing D&D, is that I have to be Yordle the Turtle here. I have to be the communist Turtle saying to overthrow and unionize, overthrow the rich people and unionize the workforce. But you catch what I mean, though, right? Like, I mean, I'm getting humorously off track, but like, there is a sense of this is a lesson we have to project so that we maintain a certain television show balance.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem with the episode is that actually, if you really think about it, Laverne surely bucks this trend, aside from, what happens in season 8, which I won't reveal. With Laverne, this trend gets super bucked really hard during canon, and even post-canon when we get to the reunion show sketch. That whole notion gets completely bucked and dismantled in a lot of ways. We'll get there eventually, but the show itself went a lot less conventional than even the scripting in this episode, so it's fascinating.
Yeah, it's wild. It just feels like Laverne and Shirley is very much about making the most of where you are and striving always and never,
Yes.
testing says it, they persevere.
Yes.
This feels that it's about the choices we make and that the blue collar people are happy being blue collar and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of comes off as to me.
Yeah. It's like they had this whole idea, where Nancy sees Laverne and goes, wow, this is impressive, but you can't remove Laverne from the series. What I could have said was maybe Laverne went there for a couple of weeks and she hated it.
Yeah.
Or Laverne went there for a couple of weeks, but she couldn't keep up with the routines, or Shirley wanted her to come home, or she was too young and lied about her age. There's a million ways you could give this a better, different ending.
Mm-hmm. But it's not. This is not good television.
No, that's why it got canceled after one season, as we all know.
Oh God, and it's sad because the parts that are cute and fun are cute and fun.
Yes.
Like she hugged me. It's precious.
Yes. So let's make fun of war right now. I love that line. The chemistry between Penny and Nancy Walker is genuinely cute.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder why they didn't just bring Nancy in for an episode or two of Laverne and Shirley. Because can you imagine the chemistry of the Nancy Blansky character with Edna Babish?
Yeah. Oh, that would have been great.
What if they knew each other?
Yeah, that's completely possible with Edna's background.
Oh God, the possibilities, man. Like, oh gosh.
I know. All the missed opportunities here will just pile up after a while.
Yep.
It gets sad.
And then we get to, our flashback is done, and Laverne didn't want dances as much as she wanted other things.
Sure, we believe.
Sure. Yeah, we totally buy that. And then cue Cochise in a bikini and making the guys hoot and holler.
Poor Cochise, you're totally undercharacterized. All you are is mandated. Rehearsals and cold showers. My note on this quote from Joey is, man, how do the Ragusas reproduce?
I also have to point out about Cochise, this is really gross. She calls him little ears because she's Native American. Get it? You get it? You get it? You get it? Oh God.
God, it's painful.
Oh God. I don't want this to be an explicit episode. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying really
hard.
The
F word.
Oh, I'm really trying, dude.
I'm just picturing you mouthing it or just writing it in semaphore, sign language.
Here's what will happen. After we're done recording this, I'll send you all my notes and you can just see the whole thing and read it all yourself. By the way, this I can say, Eddie can't Ronnie worth shit.
He's so bad at it. He just noms the wrong side of his hand. That's how you do it. Watch Michael for a little while.
And it doesn't even look natural for Eddie to pull it off. It doesn't feel rehearsed. It's so stupid. Then Nancy is nice and lets him go have fun and get his. Okay, I'm good. Just gonna stop there. Anyway.
Yeah. Nancy sees Godzilla meets Plasma Woman, which I take it is not a real Godzilla movie. I don't think.
Okay. Yeah. First of all, there has not been enough women kaiju in general, sadly, so it's inaccurate there. Secondly, a classic Godzilla movie would be either Godzilla Raids Again or King Kong versus Godzilla by this time, because when this came out, the oldies of this era were maybe at youngest like Godzilla versus the Sea Monster or Son of Godzilla. Like that's about it. Because this episode aired in 1977. Yeah, okay. Maybe the oldest would be like Destroy All Monsters, but like, yeah, like I mean, Godzilla versus Megalon had like just like come out like a couple years prior. Terror of Mechagodzilla, Ishiro Honda's last movie, had just come out like 2 years prior.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so anyway, yeah, no, it is inaccurate. Also, Plasma Woman, really, that's the best you got. That is weak sauce even for an Ultraman and Zone Fighter monster.
Yeah.
That is. Oh god, even Spectre Man's even better than that. Oh my god. Oh, my tokusatsu brain is dying. But hey, at least she gets eaten by the raft.
Yeah, there you go. That was the weirdest bit of slapstick I've ever seen on a show. 'Cause she really had to struggle to make it look like she was getting eaten by that raft.
Yeah.
She had to struggle with it.
Anyway, so yeah, so I've got notes for the folks before, but in front of and behind the camera, because now we've kind of summarized the episode. So I'm amazed that this episode's written by Roger Garrett.
Yeah, so am I.
This was his only episode of Blansky's, thankfully. And he would jump to Laverne and Shirley around this time and working on the anniversary show. He begins in season 5 as a consistent writer for around 10 episodes, including such infamous ones as Why Did the Fireman? He also did Born Too Late, Helmet Weekend, and The Mummy's Bride.
Yes.
He also worked on parts 1 and 2 of the Hollywood 3-parter for Happy Days. You know the one.
Yeah.
And would later jump the shark onto It's a Living in the 80s and Empty Nest in the 1990s. Though, ironically, he worked on Empty Nest, but not the episode that Michael McKean is on.
Yeah.
Except in a producing capacity. Jerry Paris. Yes, we know he's a longtime comedic actor. He had great bit parts in films. I covered that last time we brought him up for Shotgun Wedding, but we're focused on the directing. He directed pretty much 85-90% of Happy Days, but he also was the director of the second episode of Laverne and Shirley we mentioned. He started in the early 60s, directing a few episodes of The Joey Bishop Show and an episode of Farmer's Daughter. His first major stint was 63 to 65 on The Bill Dana Show. He would do 3 episodes of The Munsters, a couple of Tammys, and even That Girl, mid-1960s. He was a longtime director collaborator for Gary Marshall, and they met on the Dick Van Dyke Show, which meant that Jerry basically directed all of Hey Landlord, where many plots were recycled for other Marshall First shows. He also directed the 1970s You Just Don't Get It, Man movie called The Grasshopper, which we love to joke about for its one appearance of Penny Marshall.
She's a plaster caster in that. It is amazing.
Oh, man. Thankfully, after this fiasco of a series, he would stay with Happy Days until 1984 and go on to work on 2 of the Police Academy sequels until, unfortunately, Jerry Paris passed away tragically in 1986 at the age of 60 from a brain tumor that took his life.
It's awful.
So, good news, bad news about this episode is it did at least get me to look up people who worked on the show, because there's some cool people in this. Linda Goodfriend as Sunshine Alcalino. First of all, Laura Beth, what are you doing here? Get back to the 50s. But I wonder. I have a theory that the metadata for this show on IMDb is terrible. It's across the board. Like, it's inconsistent. There's people for this episode credited that are regulars in other episodes, and blah blah blah. There's also the possibility Linda had this episode stripped from her resume, which I like to believe. It's less likely the case, but I would love to believe that's the case. In any case, she would appear here before jumping off to Happy Days as Richie's girlfriend, wife, baby mama, whatever.
Yes.
She was also on the One Season Wonder Who's Watching the Kids in the late 70s as well. Oh my God. But after a few guest spots and a conclusion Happy Days in 84, she only kept acting really like in Gary Marshall movies. So like she's in Beaches, Pretty Woman, and Exit to Eden.
Exit to Eden. The best, worst thing he ever did.
Absolutely. But Linda Goodfriend also did direct a short film in 2009 and a TV movie in 1986, which is cool. Apparently, as of this recording, she moved into has moved for a while into being an acting teacher, and including recently serving as acting chair at the New York Film Academy as of mid 2020. Now, the reason this is pretty rad, on top of all this, is the fact that, this is someone with a lot of experience. She's apparently quite a pretty cool person. As a really intense actor, she actually studied under Strasberg and Meisner in her early days doing stage.
Oh, that's nice.
She's passing down the knowledge to the kids, which is cool. Next, we get Pat Morita, Arnold, the Ageless Wonder. I did not know Pat Morita's backstory until having to look up notes for this episode, and I am so glad I looked this up because, wow, a legendary career I've seen him in tons of stuff, obviously, you know, that I didn't even realize I saw him in. Like, I watched The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo as a kid. Shush. But when you look at Pat Morita's backstory as a person, you realize how much of a badass this guy was. Please go check that out. Highly, highly recommend. Because me covering it here would just be repeating the Wikipedia article. Just look it up. This guy dealt with internment camps, childhood illness, losing his father in his 20s. There's some amazing stuff. Here in BLANSKY'S BEAUTIES, he's smack dab in the middle of the 70s era with Mr. T and Tina behind him, Happy Days still ongoing, and the infamy of Karate Kid and Collision Course ahead of him. He would feature on most episodes of this series. Poor man.
Yeah.
So the blonde guy that shows up in this episode, we didn't talk about Mr. Smith, and part of that was because I could not find out who the hell played Mr. Smith. But the man with him, Stubbs, was George Pentecost, and was able to find out information about him. He was regular on the show. And actually, this is one of his most regular parts in the 70s. He also had a small part around this time in All the President's Men, which is a pretty rad thing to have on your resume. He also did a little bit of TV parts, Starsky and Hutch, episode of Lou Grant, Rocket Files, Mork and Mindy, etc., etc. He did keep active as an actor until the mid-1990s, retiring for some years before he passed away in 2003 at the age of 64. Shirley Kirks as Cochise. So the sad thing about the Cochise Little Feather actor, Shirley, she was an alum for the Carol Burnett show.
Oh.
She had a run of dancer roles here and there before getting this part as a regular on BLANSKY'S. She also ended up on Happy Days as the character Blossom for 4 episodes. And we will be seeing her in The Duke of Squigman in season 5.
Oh, coming up soon
Exactly.
for us.
Yeah, soon for us, because we're going to be putting this out in July, close to when we record it, but we're currently doing the season 5 episodes.
Yes, we are.
So it appears, though, she had a background in ballroom dancing and different dancing styles because she's worked as a choreographer on films such as Father of the Bride and Absolute Power, and was even one of the ballroom dancers in Dracula Dead and Loving It by Mel Brooks.
Oh, man, that's terrific.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Love that movie. I highly underrated.
Oh, yeah. No, that is my second favorite. I actually might be my favorite Mel Brooks movie, actually. But
Yeah, it's got a lot of good ones in there. Got a lot of good lines.
I think that and Young Frankenstein are my 2 favorites of his, but, you know, that's me.
Lucy, I'm British. So are these.
Oh, it's ghastly. I know. We should have put down newspapers. That's actually how my
That's a good
parents and I pronounce newspapers whenever it's like, oh, we need newspapers. Fred Fox Jr. as Marvin the bellhop, as we mentioned. He was also the bellhop on Laverne and Shirley May Fabian. He was the one who had the line of, your plan's not going to work and you're both going to get arrested. So he was typically a writer on the Marshallverse and was responsible for Excuse Me, May I Cut In for Laverne and Shirley before jumping to Happy Days for a whopping 28 episodes.
Wow.
He also worked on, I believe Shotgun Wedding, if I recall, for season 5.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome.
I'm gonna leave it there. We've talked about this guy a lot, and I do think he comes back for another thing or two. We'll be mentioning him again. So Lenny Schultz, Mr. Gaffney, he was a really regular working comedian in the 1970s. The whole routine that he does with the sound effects and this whole like military thing, that is all him. That was what he basically did. He was actually a huge influence on a lot of comedians at the time, including being name dropped, I guess, by folks like Gallagher, Carrot Top, and David Letterman. They all thought he was the bee's knees, and he is semi-retired as of the 90s, but still alive today. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, as you can tell, that took 3 hours, I think, to put all those notes together.
Yeah, you did good work. You did good work.
I'm just gonna sip my water. You have anything else?
Nah, not a thing. We're getting close to being ready to rank this baby.
Just any last thoughts about like this episode, the show? Like, what do you think?
This show is amazing in a bad way. It kind of really is. Because you think that a concept involving half-naked women and Gary Marshall friendly comedy would at least work on some level, but no, it doesn't. It just does not.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It's just bad in a lot of ways.
It is. So, yeah, I have long final thoughts. I'll try to keep this short and kind of paraphrase and take chunks out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 7 paragraphs. 8th one was the headcanon about Arnold and Nancy being in a relationship. So the jokes land super flat. Which this should be a highlight. This is a guest spot episode with crossover. This should be good. This should be, excuse me, may I cut in? This should be Shotgun Wedding and not even Shotgun Wedding. The Fonzie's funeral even.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got Penny and Phil in good form. You've got the cute, Sunshine Marvin thing. Dies the quiet death of cancellation, and Nancy herself is just great. She's really strong as the character. The dialogue is awful. I mean, Joey being the childish kid, Joey DeLuca is, seeing Eddie being that way is really jarring, given it's so clear the youngest that this character is 20 or 21. And the whole setup of this cabal or menagerie of young performers feels more like out of a cheesy smut novel that barely skirts the 18 or older restrictions on lit erotica or something.
That's the way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very visceral, but, it's like, if you know, it's like, it's barely, it's weird. And Arnold getting used as the butt of the joke feels weird. And that may just be my memories of him on Happy Days being different from the reality of it. But, God, and then Anthony Scott is such a creep. I mean, there's something in posturing, the posture of his character makes me go, ugh. I mean, in the same way I remember, he reminds me of this kid that taught me how to catcall when I was 6,
Oh, God.
And it's, oh, God. And, the idea of, Anthony and Joey being related to Carmine makes a creepy kind of sense. I mean, no wonder Carmine turns into a gigolo and does every divorcee or widow he can in a 20-mile radius. No wonder he practically cheats on Shirley. No wonder he's womanizing jealous little short-legged twerp. It's in the genes.
It's the genes.
I don't like it. I mean, it doesn't do much for me. The high points of the dance number, the Gaffney sound effects, and the Gonzo reference are weighed down by a really plotty middle portion, undercooked writing, terribly boring dialogue, and just a generally bland execution. This basic-ass TV show, this is basic-ass TV. And this show, in my opinion, deserved to die. In fact, give me the gun. I will put a bullet in its effing head to finish it off. I will old yeller this bastard for you. No problem. Don't even got to pay me for it. You need a hit on this fucking show? I will do it. Just all around disappointment.
My.
Anyway.
Oh my. Well, it is that bad, so it is that
3.
bad.
It's a 3. That's all I'm gonna give it.
Yeah, it's about it's about 3. It's about 2 for me. Screw it. It's a 2 for me. There only things worth watching here are the performance with Nancy Walker and Penny. When they perform on stage, when they get to dance together. Otherwise, this is forgettable. And the scripting is bad. And this is why Gary Marshall should not have done Jiggle TV. That's why Exit to Eden is awkward. I still don't know why he made Exit to Eden. God, Exit to Eden and the other sister. It's like, wow, what was he thinking?
I'm so going to have to watch that movie at some point in its entirety, and not just trying to find the nudie bits when I'm 10.
As far as I can remember, it was the most sanitized movie about bondage in the history of the world. That's what I remember about Exit to Eden, or his version of it. Just oy vey. Oy vey.
Yep.
Yep-a-doo.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that covers it, don't it?
Oh yeah.
I hope our fans are happy that they made us suffer. I'm sure our friends will be delighted that we've eviscerated it.
They love us no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, I expect that this is going to be like a total vanity episode. We're not going to get many people watching this. Maybe tons of people will watch this. I don't know, but.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, everybody. I think that's going to call it for now. Is there anything else? Is there anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I've talked too much this episode anyway. Okay.
Nah.
So
Talk plenty, just the right amount.
So anyway, I think with that we'll just thank everybody who voted on the poll to make us go through this, because as much as I was in physical pain because of watching this the second time around. I actually had a headache. But I thank you all. Please do not feel discouraged from voting on the next poll, because we don't know. It might be something that we love, and it might be something that we hate even more. We don't know. Oh God, that's right. We are doing something after that. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yes. Yeah, but I know exactly what we're doing too.
Anyway, so thank you everyone so much for watching, for listening, for putting up with us through this.
Giggling.
If you would like to know more, if you'd like to actually, here's the thing. If you would like us to talk about a good show, you can find us at Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, Patreon, WordPress, and YouTubes. Or find us on Twitter at Night After Night PC. And you can join us for more discussions. You can let us know what you think of this episode. Would you like to see us do other special episodes like this, where we do other crossovers? There's a few Happy Days crossovers we haven't done yet, and we should probably get around to those. Oh God! So we don't know exactly when this episode is going to get done. What is our other special episode we're doing, Lisa?
Well, you know how there's Laverne and Shirley porn parody? Our viewers decided that we should watch it, so we're gonna watch Laverne and Shirley XXX, a Dream Zone parody.
Oh man! So we know enough about this that I can say, those of you that want to hear us talk about a porno flick, you are going to be delighted at the fact that you'll get to guess what infuriates each of us more, and which are we on the same page, or do we have our own individual distastes for it, and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's going to be a ride. Oh my God! I feel I got a Bob Belcher thing going now. It's just, oh my God. Lisa, I don't know if we should be doing this anymore. I don't really want to.
We should be. We should be doing it forever and ever and ever and ever and
ever. Please tell me there's more wine in the fridge.
Sure, Bobby, there's more wine. I can't even do a freaking good Linda Belcher. No, I'm sorry. Oh.
It's just practice. It's practice.
Bobby. Closer. I'm getting close. I start to sound like Lois or something.
Oh God, I'm not Peter. I'm not going to ever be Peter. I will never tell my daughter. I will never ever tell my daughter to shut up the way that Peter tells Meg to shut up.
Yeah, I'm right.
Anyway. Okay. All right, we're rambling. Anyway, so thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time, and just say no to Blansky's Beauty. Say no to bad television like this. Say no to racist archetypes. Say no to bad guest spots. Say no to Scott Bio.
Say no to Jiggle TV. Amen. Bye, y'all.